Good morning, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the check-in. It's 9:30. 2009. What a fabulous year. I have no recollection of 2009. These years just go by way too quick. I mean, if you were ever asked, like, oh, what did you do in 2009? Would you ever even be able to say anything about 2009? I mean, some of you are probably like, well, I was back in high school or I was back in grade school. So, but anyway, um, and I know that, yeah, I'm looking at the time. I mean, I'm looking at the year. I'm like, okay, you guys all had to have been born then. All right, so what we're gonna do, let's take a look at this is the last class meeting, guys. Woo rah! You gotta love it. Big deal. I mean, it's our last meeting together. We did 4.1 and 4.2 already, so now all we got to do is 4.7. I went ahead and put together for you on Blackboard a review for your final. I can't obviously do that with you now because this is our last class period. So I have to teach 4.7. So what I did, if you come into home, all right, you'll see it right here, the MAT1100 final review. And I also emailed it to you so you have it in your email. But what you'll find is an hour and 10 minutes worth of me reviewing those 55 questions. So pretty detailed and worthwhile to watch. Okay, so the way this is happening, okay, again, you're going to come into Blackboard and you're going to hit on Honor Lock, all right, to do the final exam. You're going to hit on Honor Lock LTI. You should have already done and completed the practice test. Okay. The practice test is right here. It's open until tomorrow. Excuse me, I take that back, until Saturday. Your final will open up tomorrow and open until all the way till the 22nd. All right. I closed it on the Thursday because that's when our class meetings were synchronously. So you have until Thursday. And also it gives me Friday to work on all the stuff. Now you have also to complete your portfolios. Make sure you get those done. Those are due. Those are all due by the 18th. The last four, that is. So that's Sunday. So make sure you get that done as well. All right. And of course, you had also quiz 10. Now, a little surprise, I will be dropping your 2 lowest quiz grades as well as your 2 lowest impacted homeworks. But the thing is, you're under Alex, so it's a little different, but it's going to be module things. Whatever is impacting your grade, I'll just put that into Blackboard. I'll just put that in there. And then the way, yeah, normally I would do something else, but never mind. But anyway, you should be able to get everything done. You're allowed 4 index cards for your final. That's already recorded into Honor Lock. And are there any questions on that? There's 30 questions. That's a common question. How many questions on the final? There's 30 questions on the final. All right. Very reflective of what you're going to see in that hour and 10-minute video that I told you about. All right. So I think I covered everything. You're allowed scrap paper if you need scrap paper. All right. Now I can't think of anything else that normally students ask. Are there anything else you guys thinking? All right, well then let's get started here. Okay. All right, you know, that's a great question. Let me go ahead and find out. That's a great question. I can go ahead and find that out by going to here, my institution. I can't tell who answered it, so but I can do this. I can access my evaluation kit. And I can click on here. And then I go ahead and look for your class. And your class being this one right here. And you guys are at 71 point. All I need is one more person to respond. There's 6 people in here, so somebody in here didn't respond. Because I need at least 6 in order to get to the 80%. Because that'll be 6 out of 7, I think. If you guys do 6 out of 7, it's 85%. All right. So whoever you are, wake up and fill out the survey. How long did it take to do? Like 3 minutes? Not even 2 minutes? 30 seconds? It's really fast. Some of these classes aren't even close. Look at how sad it is. But you guys are the closest ones. So yeah, I know it's quick. I mean, unless you really want to dive in deep and give me a bad report, then I'll punch you in the nose. Not that I'll punch you in the nose. Okay, I will not do that. Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's get started here. So that was a good question. So if one more person can do it, I'll honor the 5%. All right, I'm quickly still operating. All right, I'm here. Okay, now let me go here. All right, moving to 4, 7. All right, now this question right here is reliant on, do you know anything about the perimeter formula? I mean, the perimeter formula is all about, adding all the sides of a rectangle together. Because it says LaShonda wants to paint a rectangular region of a wall for 1 layer of paint. She has 16 feet of tape around the border of the region she's painting. She's considering 3 regions of 4 foot, 5 foot, and 6 foot. All right, with the lengths of those, right? So she wants to know what is the width if she has a 4 foot, 5 foot, and 6 foot tape. Okay. So the thing is that you're gonna have to know this formula. So this is where your index card comes in if you can't remember it. But 2 times L plus 2 times W equals perimeter. And you could put perimeter on the other side, but I purposely put it this way because I want to set it up where the 16 feet is on the right side and not on the left. So the way to go about doing this then is to go ahead and say, well, if you have a 4 foot piece of tape, you put the 4 in for the length, and then you go ahead and solve for what W is when you have 16 feet worth of tape. So this is a matter of, multiplying and then subtracting and dividing. So we can get the value of W, the width, by going ahead and putting it into that equation. All right, so very important that you're following that procedure. All right. Now, solving for the area is simply just multiplying them together because area is length times width. And because length times width is the area, we're just going to go ahead and find that it's 16 square feet. Now we do that same process a couple more times, where we put the 2, times the length, the given, plus the 2w equals the 16. And then you do the same process. You go ahead and multiply, which is 10, subtract 10 from 16, and get w equals 3. So now you put 3 in there. And then 3 times 5 is 15. Likewise, you do the same thing one more time. You go ahead and put in 6. That's 12. 12 taken away from 16. And then w equals 2. So then 2 times 6. And then we have all of our areas. So what they're looking for, which of these regions would require the most paint? Well, obviously 16 square feet is going to be the most area to cover. So then that means it's the most amount of paint. So we're looking at region 1. Are there any questions on that? All right, so this is pretty straightforward. It's a matter of, knowing your formula. You had 2 of them being used here. Now, this problem, this set, is all about taking the value of whatever it is they call out. Like, see how this has an F next to it? That means what they're saying is take the value of 3 and replace it into this function. So put in 3 into the function, and it then goes into the function. And the function being -4 times x plus 2. Now notice how I put down parentheses for that letter x, because the input of 3 replacing x will then take over the position of the x. So that leaves us with then -4 times 3 is -12 plus 2, which equals -10. All right, so that's that part. So we're done with that one. Now we do the same thing, but this time we're putting in the -5 into the g of x. Now notice how I go ahead and put it in parentheses. And also recognize we have to put it into the other x as well. So I'm going to put another set of parentheses. Okay, I almost fell off the book right there. Now, -5 times -5 is +25. That's like that's like a quarter. And if you have 4 quarters, you have $1. So that's 100. And then a double negative equals positive. So you're looking at +5 now, because that's double negative. So then your answer would be 105. All right. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. So we're going to do this a couple more times. So -5, I'm not going to be so animated with you. Can you still hear me? I don't know if you guys can hear me. Okay, good. it looks like my internet connection is rough or something. I don't know what's going on. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. So now I'm not going to be so animated about how I'm showing you that's in there. I'm just going to kind of do it now. So f of x, all right, so it's going to be 4 times -5. Didn't we just do that one? Didn't we just do this one? It looks like we just did that one. So I'm going to go ahead and take 105. That one's kind of weird. We just did that one right here, except I had a g of x before. So I'm not going to do this one. I'm going to do I'll do the second one though, because that one we haven't done. So let me go ahead and do g of 7. That means I have 7 times -5 is going to be -35. -35 minus 3 is -38. All right, let's do that one more time. All right, we have f of -2. So -2 is replacing in the x, so it's going to be 2 times -2 to the 3rd power plus 2. Well, -2 times, or to the 3rd power means -2 times -2 is +4. +4 times -2 is -8. -8 times 2 is -16. Plus 2. And that gives us -14. Now we have 5 times -2 is -10, plus 2 is -8. So I'm kind of doing it now mentally. But more importantly, do you have any questions about it? All right, now this is a robust conversation. It's not so much as needing to do work. You don't need to do any work here. You just need to understand. So please, I got 4 of these to help you understand it. It's pretty simple. It says, does the parabola open upward or downward? This is absolutely opening upward, right? Because it's going to the sky. It's like a U that's going up. Now the x-intercepts are where the blue line is crossing over the x-axis. So that's going to be -6, comma, -2. The y-intercept is where the blue line is crossing over the y-axis. So we're looking at +6. Now, the axis of symmetry is located where the x value of the lowest point in this particular case of this parabola. So the lowest point's here. So it's always going to start with x equals. So it's x equals, and then you go ahead and determine it by putting in whatever the x value is for that lowest point. Does that make sense? Is there anybody who doesn't understand that? Try to be as clear and as articulate as I can. I mean, it's not that hard. Look at the parabola, find its lowest point, indicate the axis of symmetry where the x value is, and that's -4. Now, the coordinate of the vertex is the lowest point on the parabola. So it's going to have the same value, the same x value as our axis of symmetry. So these two values should always agree to each other. Now, the y value is simply looking at the lowest point and determining what y value is at that point, which is -2. And that is all you have to do. You're done. Now, if I didn't have to explain so much, this could go a lot faster. But I'm explaining it to you. Now you can see that this is opening downward. So this is down. The vertex is at the coordinate point of -3, +1. And I'm going to jump to the axis of symmetry because it's going to be the same exact value as our vertex x value. So it's going to be x equals -3. Get that out of the way. Now my x-intercepts are going to be at -4, -2. And my y-intercept is at -8. Am I making this easy enough for you guys? Cool. All right, at least Sierra's engaged. I hope that it's easy because it is. I mean, it's not a big deal, and this is the kind of stuff you have on your final. By the way, you'll have. It's going to be a little tiny different. The way it's not going to be so. Well, no, wait a second. Yours is going to be on Alex, so yeah, it's going to be like this if it's given to you. So, does the parabola open upward or downward? So it's going to be upward. The x-intercept is at 2, 6. As long as you can, figure out where this blue line is crossing over the x-axis, that should be how easy it is. The y-intercept is where it's crossing over the y-axis. I mean, it's not that complicated. Now, the vertex is the lowest point. So you always start with your x first, not your y. I mean, that's a problem students have. So it's 4, -1. And your axis of symmetry always starts with x equals. And that's another problem students have. They don't put in the x equals. So it's x equals, and then the same value as you have for your x value of the vertex is the same value you're going to put here. And that's it. One more, just in case you didn't get it. It's opening down. Axis of symmetry is going to be at it's going to be +2. So x equals 2. The x-intercepts are at -2, 6. Your y-intercept is at 3. And your vertex is at 2, 4. And that is it. All right. Pretty easy lesson, isn't it? Are there any questions? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Now you are responsible for making up the review, by the way. You're going to, if you watch my review, you're going to get an hour and 10 minutes worth of review. You're responsible for that. All right. Also like to just say thank you for a great semester. I hope that you've benefited from this. I do have 2 classes that I'm teaching for 1100, or excuse me, 2106. By all means, if you want to take me for that, let me show you where it is. Come on. All right, so maybe it works for your schedule. So let me go ahead and get in here. Okay, maybe it doesn't want to send me anything. Okay, well, anyway, you can look for me. I'm teaching at main campus as well as Pruitt campus. So yeah, it hasn't sent, so whatever. But anyway, I'm teaching on Thursday. No, what is it, Wednesday? And I'm thinking it's also on Monday. But it's, yeah, I think it's Monday and on, um, yeah, Monday. And, or it's, yeah, it's Wednesday in the morning and I think it's Thursday. Yes. So you're more than welcome to join me for 2106. It's going to move fast. All right. We meet one time a week. So it's 3 hours, yeah, 3 hours worth of time meeting together. Some of it's going to be hybrid where you have to do some of it on your own. All right. So I do provide a lot of good, simple strategies for completing that. I think you're going to find it very beneficial. All right. Doing it with me. I have a lot of strategies that I use that are very nice. So I want to wish you luck in your educational experiences and all things that you plan on doing. And guys, have a great one. Have a great summer.